Hey BAMMA Nation, Dixie Jean here, getting ready for Badbeat 13 coming October 10th at Commerce Casino. Right now we're sitting with Tim Riscen, getting ready to take on Adrian Gutierrez. How are you doing today, Tim?
I'm doing really good, really good.
So how's training going for you?
Training is going better than it ever has for me. I'm training really hard at Knuckleheadz boxing with all my stand-up, kickboxing, all that good stuff. And then I'm training real hard at Gracie Morumbi Jiu-Jitsu with Fabio Leopoldo. And my training camp has never gone so good. My weight has never been so good because that's a struggle for me is my weight because I fight at 126, but I walk around a lot heavier than that. And I was smart this time and started dieting, 8 weeks out instead of 5 weeks. So I don't have that much weight to lose, and I've never felt better in my entire career with how well the training's been going.
Got it. And 2 weeks out, what is your main priority going to be in these last remaining 2 weeks?
My main priority is weight maintenance. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, I only have like 6.5 pounds to lose before I'm on weight. But just fine-tuning everything that I've already been training, with my stand-up with my coach, Joseph Janik, and then really working on my ground game, just to be a well-rounded fighter. I don't want to be one of those fighters that comes in and is just really good with your hands, but not so good on the ground, or really good on the ground and not so good standing up. In MMA, I think it's best to be well-rounded in everything. So a guy can't really find a weakness. So yeah, that's basically what's going on.
Got it. And you fought with us before. Bring us back to how that fight went.
I fought with you guys a little over a year and a half ago. I fought a really, it's probably the toughest fight I've had in my entire amateur or professional career against a guy named Brandon Frunk. He comes out of Alliance MMA, where Dominic Cruz trains, and he was real good. And I get real nervous before fights, and I was even more nervous because the BAMMA stage, BAMMA USA in general is just a big venue. It's a big show. It's a great show, and it's a great promotion to fight for. And I was so nervous because I just wanted to do a real good job and be asked to come back to fight for BAMMA again, And I had it's been a little while since I fought because I had a baby in March, and I was supposed to fight. There was a March card. I think it was March 18th or 19th, and my baby was due on the 21st. And Brett gave me a call, being the good man that he is. He's a great guy. He said, "Hey, Tim, you know what? Like, you're going to have a baby in a few days. Like, how about you sit this one out and be there for the, the birth of your child?" And it really set me back because most promoters wouldn't do that. Brett looks out for me as a person, as a fighter, in all aspects. And I'm real appreciative of that. And, ever since then, I've just been training my butt off, like really tough. And at my gym, at Knuckleheadz and Gracie Morumbi, there's a lot of people that are better than me. And I love that because I can only get better. You may get your butt whooped in the ring by, my teammate, Real Deal Chris Beal. He's fighting in the UFC now, We got this new guy, Gabriel, who's like 12 and like 5. And he's a beast as well, and I learned so much from training guys who are so much better than me. So when I get in that cage and I look across the guy across from me, I have no fear whatsoever because that guy's not going to hit me as hard as my teammates do. It's just I just go in there with a lot of confidence. And same thing at my jiu-jitsu academy, Gracie Morumbi. There's so many good guys there that it just fine-tunes my game in all aspects. So I've never felt so confident, not cocky, but confident in my game. So you're coming off a tough fight. You've obviously been training a lot harder now, knowing what your main focus needs to be. No more butterflies, hopefully. But going into this, you're actually going up against Adrian Gutierrez, who is a debuter. So what do you know about your opponent? Oh man, I know that Adrian Gutierrez, he's a really tough, durable fighter. I know that he has lots of experience in stand-up with kickboxing. I think he's been doing it for like 13 years or something like that. And, he's a coach at the place I think he trains at. So, I mean, I'm not going in there against some pud, you know what I mean? And that's what I like about BAMMA is they don't mix match fights. They don't. They're always even fights. It's not a one-sided, you have a guy who's 2-0 against a guy who's like 0-9, like some other promotions, It's not like that. And that's what I love about BAMMA is it'll help me in my career getting all these tough guys to fight, and that's how I'll get better and better throughout my career. So.
Yeah, in the world of MMA, your numbers are important, but also your experience is more important because if you're fighting people that are tomato cans, as they put it, for that type of terminology, and you go against someone who is equally matched, you're kind of hurting yourself in that regard because your numbers don't reflect how you are as a fighter. And we want to highlight that. We want people to realize their true potential, and that's to go against people that are equally matched with them. So
exactly.
The better man wins. Exactly. Or women, for that matter. Better woman will win as well. We have girl fights for this fight as well. Yep. But going into this, any shout-outs that you want to give for your sponsors that have prepared you getting ready for this fight?
I just want to give a shout-out to my coach, Joseph Janik, my teammates, all my teammates at Knuckleheadz Boxing, because we're like all a family there, Chris Beal, my new teammate Gabriel has been working with me a lot, and then Gracie, Morumbi, Professor Fabio, Professor Eric Klinger have been working with me a lot. All my brothers and sisters at Gracie Morumbi who have helped me get to where I'm at, and also a shout out to my one of my sponsors, SMBG Clothing. They've been there for me since day one. And I want to give a shout out to Brett and the whole BAMMA crew, man, for doing what they do for me and being real people in this MMA game, man. I really appreciate it, and those people are few and far between in mixed martial arts.
Well, thank you on behalf of BAMMA USA. We appreciate that because we really do work hard, but mainly we're doing this because we want to see you guys move forward, and this is really for you guys. BAMMA, we kind of have this little running joke that, we're family, and we'll get in each other's business to make sure everyone's okay, and that's the same way that Brett will be with his fighters. He wants to make sure his fighters are good to go. They're not just fighters, they're not just a name on a card, but they're people in real life, and they have other responsibilities, and so we really respect that because you guys actually sacrifice a lot. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize because they go to fight and they're all excited, but they don't realize that someone like yourself has a newborn, and probably balancing that with training and working is probably a very difficult thing. How is that, by the way, with the newborn and the training? How is it finding a balance?
It's taken a little bit, to get that balance because sometimes you feel like when you train, you're a professional MMA fighter, you feel like you train too much and maybe you're not there for your child or the fiance or you train so much that you're so tired at work. But now that it's been, my little girl is 6 months old now, I've just really focused on balancing. And, and my fiance, Courtney, she knows, like, when it's fight time, like, I'm going to be grumpy. I can't eat certain things. And but she knows it's for a greater cause to maybe one day where all I have to do is just fight, and to provide for my family. And I think when I get in that cage, I'll be a different fighter, knowing that this fight can feed my daughter. This fight can get my daughter clothes and maybe get me a house one day and get married and all that stuff. So I think my mentality will be more like a stone cold killer. When I get in there, than oh wow, I hope I do good. I hope he doesn't punch me hard. Because
you're in the wrong game if you're thinking that.
Yeah. When you get in that cage, there's no getting out. There's no getting out. It's you and that other fighter and the ref, and that's it. And thousands of people watching and screaming. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight, and I'm like super excited to get back in the BAMMA cage and continue fighting for BAMMA.
And going against Adrian Gutierrez, he is a debuter. Is there any words of advice or anything you would like to say directly to him preparing for the fight?
Don't get nervous and don't throw up before your fight. Yeah, man, I know it's going to be a good fight. You know, I'm not one to run my mouth about other fighters because the people who talk shit usually get knocked out or submitted. You know, and I don't want to be that guy. So I know it's going to be a good fight. He's a tough fighter. I'm a tough fighter, and we're going to go in there and definitely give the BAMMA fans exactly what they want, and that's a good fight. So
Fantastic. Well, Tim, stay healthy these last remaining couple weeks, and we wish you success. It's going to be a great fight. Maybe fight of the night. Who knows? Someone who's well driven, someone who's excited about his debut. I think it's very well matched, and it's going to be some fireworks, I believe.
I definitely agree with you on that one.
All right. Well, look forward to seeing Tim Riscen take on Adrian Gutierrez. Badbeat 13 at Commerce Casino, October 10th.